So we talked about the goals in the entire process of data management, but as we progress along the journey of enterprise data management, can you help me understand the steps and the goals along the way and how we divide it into chunks that are manageable and that where we get results all along the way?
Yeah. And this is like primarily one thing which is where we need to understand also is I personally, like when for all the different implementations and my team, like we have seen more success where you don't go with a big bang approach. You create a program and it becomes a journey to where you are going from different steps and different kind of states of your data, and you are adding more and more value as you go through. If you try to do a big bang approach, it definitely helps, but it is something where you have to spend a lot of time, lot of money before you reap any benefits. In the data state, like it's sometimes true in the ERPs and business apps and all those things, like you have to convert and migrate the whole application or whole process. But in the data state, it is like more agile in nature, and that's beauty actually helps us a lot create immediate values for the business users. So one thing which we consider for any organization is that treat every data element which is being generated as an asset. So when you say that, that means like we are not talking about just bringing the sales data here or customer data or CRM information. We are talking about like every data point, all those silos, all that unvalidated or validated information which exists or is being generated in the organization, that becomes your data state. Like today's data state, you start from there and you put on a governance hat and governance put like the area into that so that you can have a proper inventory and a catalog of it. Business users and even IT executives might not know that, okay, what exists and what may be the most beneficial until there is a governance piece into place. You want to enable business to utilize more and more data, but a strong governance and a strong catalog, business glossary is going to help them with a discovery, but also in a secure way so that they can actually start looking at the information which exists in the organization. When they are coming in, the first question comes in how we manage the data quality. And what is the things where like whatever area, whatever the different data elements and data state we are going into, the data can be trusted. So you need to see that how the data quality can be implemented into all these different areas where the data is being moving in. And once you have the trusted data available and you make it possible for business users to consume that trusted data, whether it is that you are bringing in all those data elements to a data lake, implementing the data quality rules, then making data products or data domains available for business users, or at the current state you are actually making it available, whichever the architecture comes out to be, your data need to be trusted, and the trusted data making available for business users, it just improves the business quality. The decision quality, they start looking at more and more. So your decision quality start changing when you have trusted data available. And finally, if you are making more advanced decisions based on data and the metrics and KPIs, you start getting that competitive advantage. Your new products which you are bringing in, your new services which you want to provide to business users, and everything, the decisions which you take for the end consumer or for the corporates and everything, that gives you the competitive advantage. So you start from a data state which was siloed, untrusted, unqualified data, and you come into that area with a journey rather than like a big bang. And your data strategy needs to align to actually help you from that starting state to the competitive advantage state. If you cover this strategy states, like different elements which I talked about, and then how can I get from this siloed and different copies and untrusted data to a competitive advantage? If you create a strategy which actually takes you from A to B, that is a successful strategy to be executed on.
Excellent. So what are next steps, Asad? How do you think people should get engaged with us? What's a rational way on this journey?
Analyzing that what is our current state is, and realizing that what might be the challenges which we have today, And then what will be if we need to change from this state to a more better data kind of a strategy and a centralized data-driven approach. Deep down assessment is a key element. Our consultants can actually come in, they can interview all these different folks who actually own or are ownership, have ownership of different data generation kind of engines in the organization, and identify that what are their challenges, what are the different things which actually are causing some trouble, and then also go through all the different assets which are currently available. So business users might not know everything, but then if you go through these elements, you can actually find out what are the different pieces which will include into the data strategy. And ROI calculation actually becomes a very, very big element for any executive to go and present it to the board that if we do this, this is the benefits which we are going to get. So our consultants can actually come in and help out with the assessment and ROI calculation for these kind of initiatives. Once those are there, it becomes so easy to actually start on that journey and get this going. The final piece which the CTOs and C-level executives on the IT side need to think of, the cost of ownership. When you keep creating these, your cost is actually increasing. Your tangible and your intangible costs actually skyrocket. But if you have an enterprise strategy, this is one more case, like the final item which needs to happen is that what does my cost of ownership is today and where it should be tomorrow once I am done with the initiative. And just frankly to tell you, most of the time, like we think that the enterprise data strategy and initiative is going to take too much money, too much time. The cost of ownership savings actually pay for itself. You might be spending tens of millions today, which you can actually save if you have a better strategy around your data state. And if you have a better strategy, your services are going to improve, your business users are going to be using more and more data, your business is going to be more agile, but your cost of ownership of all that is going to go down. And that's where like it pays for itself. And having that as a strategy like piece that, okay, I need to solve all these different things, then becomes a key kind of an item for the CTOs. If you lock down on those, you can build a strategy which actually works for you.
Yes, and in conclusion, I have to say that the ROI analysis that you and I have done in the past shows it extremely clearly. Quantitative ROI analysis that we actually did at a global customer showed that they were going to save immediately and their payback was less than a year on their entire investment, not only hardware but also services. And so you're 100% correct. And when we presented this ROI, we had no arguments. And in fact, one of the interesting things about these ROI analyses is that what I've learned is that we happen to be very conservative. And usually customers tell us, no, these numbers are a lot higher. Thank you so much for your time today, Asad. I really appreciate it. And hopefully folks learned something. So thank you so much as always.
Thanks,